only thing is, the microphone's got to be close when we start. Not now, but when we start. Perfect, just like that.
Yeah, otherwise we'll jam it right up in your face.
Tough. Yeah, you get the best spot
I'm in the air zone now.
This Arizona guy here ain't used to the humidity anymore.
Yeah.
I grew up here, but it's been a while.
Oh, yeah? Sorry.
See if I can tangle you up.
Yeah, that's right. I'll get up and shrimp. I do that often. It doesn't take much. That water's cold out there today.
Me and Anita, 140 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Wow. Where did you go to high school? Here? Cypress Lake.
Yeah, sure did. We lived on San Carlos while our house was built, and my dad retired from the Army. And that was early 70s. And he had a house built in Cypress Lake State. So we used to live right behind Lakes Park when it was called the Rock Pits, and there was a place for people to.
Oh, yeah.
This is Beach Talk Radio.
Good morning, Mr. and Mrs. America, and all ships at sea. This is your captain speaking, Mean Gene. Mean Gene. The following will be a test of the ship's whistle, the sonar alarm, the cable alarm, and the atomic attack alarm.
Live from Peach Time Out in the heart of Times Square. You're listening to Beach Talk Radio with Kim and Ed Ryan.
And hello, everybody, and welcome to episode number 196. We are coming to you live on Saturday, December the 11th from Pete's Time Out here in Times Square on Fort Myers Beach. And before we get the show rolling this morning, we want to thank all of our sponsors, and that includes the Best Western, Fort Myers Tiki Tours, Nervous Nellies, Mangaritas, Sanibel Carts, State Insurance USA, Sun Palace Vacations, La Ola Restaurant, Tuckaway Cafe, Blue Ribbon Events, Beach Pottery, Shuckers, the Farmers Market at Beach Baptist, and, of course, Pete's Time Out. Coming up later in the show, we have tickets to give away to the Beach Theater, which is located here on the beach. And also, we have 2 pair of tickets to give away to see the next show in the FMB Friends of the Arts concert series, which is Rockin' the Bay concert series. So hang on for that. We're going to do trivia, Motown trivia. Last night I asked the wife to come up with trivia questions, and she didn't do it.
I just remembered.
Yeah,
Let me get on that. I'll get on that right now.
So I did it myself. I have 2 not so hard questions. So we're going to give away those tickets today.
Music, as we know, as you've pointed out many times before, my music knowledge is very small. I'm not an aficionado.
My current music knowledge is very small. I can tell you every song 30 years ago.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the voice of Stephen Ray McDonald, and Stephen is here to tell us about the Arches. He's behind the Restore the Arches campaign. And before we get to that, you were at the Women's Club last night.
I was.
Tell us about that.
It was a good time. I was the parking guy, and I was handing out brochures to people for our Etch Brick fundraiser while I was parking them. And there, Nathaniel Lee was there. He's a guitarist who's actually playing at our music festival in April. And he was there, and there was drinks to be had and Christmas trees to be looked at, and it was a good time for most people that were there. Had a great time.
And it's going on again tonight.
It is.
It starts at 3:30.
And check out the arch tree.
Yeah.
Restore Fort Myers Beach Arches girls put it together for us.
We call them ladies from here on out.
They are ladies.
You can't say girls anymore because you get in trouble with the cancel police.
I can relate to that.
So can you tell us a little bit about the tree? Have you seen it?
It's wonderful. We bought an arch tree. Our theme was the Arches, spelled ARTCHES.
Oh.
We had
That
all
means kind of artsy thing, dude,
I
just in
got it.
case
Thank
that went
you.
over your head.
Yeah, well, Jan Ellen at Kielski, she's the one that painted the mural behind the
Town
town
council.
council.
Yeah.
And she painted hand painted some ornaments that went on the tree. Our donor and volunteer Debbie Sizley got all these great ornaments. I don't know where she got them, but they're all like sea critters.
Nice.
What's the bid up to on your tree there?
$600.
600. Very nice.
Let me tell you some of the value of this. Jan's ornaments are worth $120 a piece. $20 a hand painted ornament. She's got 6 on there. We got artwork from Ed the Sandman, who usually does these big sandcastles on the beach back here.
We've never had Ed the Sandman on the show.
You
We
should
had
get
the
Ed
raking.
Sandman.
We had the raking guy on the
Yeah,
show. He
you
turned
had,
out to be a scammer.
That's John Boyd.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
not a real. That wasn't real. That deal wasn't real. It wasn't a real deal. Was it?
John's going to break the world record before our event in April
Oh,
for
is
the
that-
largest sand painting in the world.
There.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
take it back.
I take it back. I'm sorry,
So-
Sandman.
no.
So we got Ed the Sandman. He'd provide a big old, huge, I don't know what the dimensions are, probably 24 by 18 or something. And he signed it and serial numbered it.
Wow.
And it's a picture of one of his sandcastles. Lorna Luttrell Photography did some great things for us. Panther Printing printed some historic photos.
Yeah.
So these are all part of the tree. And then I bought like some arch-shaped
Of course.
ornaments to
Yeah.
go on the tree.
Now,
Gotta
before
have that.
before we talk about the arches, tell us about your time in the Air Force. What did you do in the Air Force?
I joined the Air Force in 1982. 81. 82, I got my first duty assignment in Arizona.
Nah. That's
And
nice.
that's where I met my wife, and that's why I live there now. But this is my hometown. This is
Yeah.
where I grew up. I played right over there
By the pier.
in a place called Times Square is where I
Nice.
used to hang out.
So you used to hang out here when it was a road.
I used to hang out here when Times Square was a pizza place and a game room.
Wow.
And we'd sit right here at the base of the pier and watch
Nice.
people walk by
Yeah.
as a teenager.
Very cool. So how long were you in the Air Force for?
I was in for 21 years.
Whoa.
I was in during the Cold War and during Bosnia and Kosovo. Participated in the war on drugs as a radar troop and a ground radar guy. I was in Aviano during Bosnia and Kosovo and all the Balkan wars.
Does that mean that you were you over there, or does that mean that you were on the ground and you were directing the bombs to the bad
our
guys?
radars directed all the fighters into Kosovo? So that was a worthy thing because they were just going
Killing
house to
people.
house, burning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the arches. Let's talk about the arches. The arches used to be two gigantic. I don't know. You would call them kind of cement rock.
Coquina shells, right?
Yeah,
Shell.
it was coquina stone, which is a limestone encrusted with the coquina shells, which are the little live critters that dig themselves into the sand when you're walking down the beach, all the
Right.
different colors. Well, their little bodies create coquina stone, and they took it out of the local rock quarries in the 20s, and a guy who built the first canals on Fort Myers Beach, the first casino on Fort Myers Beach, who was an inventor before he moved to Fort Myers. He invented the first washing machine.
Oh,
He
wow.
sold the patent to General Electric. His name was Tom Phillips. He developed a housing community where he sold cottages to the locals on little bitty lots on Crescent Street and then First Street, which was a San Carlos on the Gulf Annex. And San Carlos on the Gulf was actually on the other side of Matanzas Bridge. Well, the arches were built for an entrance to a sales pavilion in 1924. There was no San Carlos Boulevard. There was no San Carlos Island even yet, because in 1926, a great Miami hurricane came through, destroyed the area. and created San Carlos Island, which is named after his housing development, San Carlos on the Gulf. So the arches were there for 52 years, over half a century. They were built in 1924, tore down in 1979 by accident. So let me tell you that story.
Go ahead.
They awarded a contract to put the sky bridge in, right? And the arches were to be torn down to get things in, to get the resources in to construct the sky bridge. Well, they took the tops of the arches off, and everybody was like, hey, what are they doing to the arches? So a group of people led by the Fort Myers Beach JCs and by local citizens got together and formulated a plan with Lee County and Lee County Parks to get this, to put the arches in a Lee County park, which is what we're doing 40 years later.
So what happened? You skipped over a lot of what happened. When they started to knock the arches down, they didn't save them all.
So they formulated a plan to save them. Nobody told the wrecking ball and bulldozer subcontractor. So he came in and destroyed the arches. And, in 1979, people were stopping on the side of the road, pretty angry, picking up pieces of the arches to take home as mementos. A lot of local residents still have pieces of the arches in their yard,
Yeah.
But the man that paid to remove them, he actually paid money to remove them, was a man that named Times Square. He had a little pizza place and game room that we were just talking about over here where Pierside is now. And it was called Times Square. So the story goes they're all sitting around a dinner party in the 70s, him and some more who's who of Fort Myers Beach, talking about, what should we name this business? Well, what was the place to be in the 1970s? Times Square in New York, because they had like Studio 54 and yeah, exactly. Hoot, hoot. So we
people love the story, by the way.
Yeah,
if people are listening.
It is. It's all part of so the guy who named Times Square and put the rocks out there in front of Pierside after Donna had them in his yard for 40 years. Well, we paid archaeologists to come in, do 3D imaging and scan what was left so we could see what surfaces we could save to incorporate into a new arch. Now, you want to ask me how this all started, our project? That's another great story.
So before you get to that, so it turned out approximately what percentage of the arches were actually saved compared to what was actually knocked down with the bulldozer?
It's sad. It's sad because a lot of it was used for riffraff. A lot of it
riffraff, like what do you mean?
Seawall, behind the seawalls on some of these Fort Myers Beach.
So some of the arches are in the seawall.
Seawalls,
and you call that riffraff?
Fill.
Okay, Phil. So what's the percentage of the wall of the arches that were saved?
I would say about 30%.
Okay.
And that's based on the arches are 105 foot wide. And there's actually 5
Okay,
spans.
Maria says Hemilgarn was his name. Do you know who that is? The person.
No.
Hemelgarn.
No, the guy was Frank Hemmelgarden.
Yeah. Well, she must have left off the ending. Maybe there wasn't enough room on there to type that in.
I didn't understand your pronunciation.
Sorry.
I don't habla español.
You're canceled again, man. That's 2 in one show. So 30% of the arches were saved, and they're in somebody's storage unit right now.
He wanted to sell his grandpa's property. So come about 2019, we had to relocate him or lose him, right?
Okay.
And so he said we could relocate him on his property in out there at
some property, no big deal.
Some property.
So for some reason you decided you wanted to start an organization to restore the arches.
Interesting story.
All right.
We're all sitting around on Facebook.
He didn't say good question. He
Close
just said
enough.
interesting story.
Bell hog. Go ahead, Stephen Ray. Thank you.
This guy's funny.
Thank you.
Oh, please
Thank
don't
you.
encourage
Thank
it.
you. Yeah.
Don't encourage
So-
it.
That's why the show's lasted so long.
2015.
Yeah.
We're sitting on the you grew up in Fort Myers in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s
Yeah.
Facebook page.
Is there such a
Texting.
page still?
Yeah, still there, run by Ron Corbett. Who,
Were you were all sitting around somewhere, or you were just at your
we're
own
all in our
house?
individual homes doing
On
the
the
Gotcha.
Facebook.
surfing
Gotcha.
of the
Were you
internet.
drinking at the time?
I was
Yes. What were you drinking?
probably whiskey sour. 'cause
I
that's
see.
my drink of choice.
How many whiskey
Wow.
sours can you put down before you're
Put down.
hammered? Yeah. How many do you think you can put
I
down?
don't know.
How big are the?
I only drank 2 last night at the women's club event, which
I
you should
see.
go to.
I see.
folks,
Very
and
nice. Why?
have a cocktail.
Why'd you only have 2?
I limit myself. I know
see.
my limits.
Around people, you don't want to get too crazy drunk, and
Even at home, I don't want to be that way.
really.
But
All right. Well, that's good to know.
That's something the Air Force taught me to do, so I
There's
don't
Gotcha.
get in
There's something I
trouble.
can say,
Yeah.
but I'm letting it go.
So,
letting it go.
go ahead and tell your story about
No,
you're all
we're
sitting
sitting
We're
around.
sitting around on
Talking
Facebook.
about what happened to the remains of the arches, because we know people picked them up and took them home, and where'd they all go? I mean, that was a huge 26 foot tall, 105 foot wide structure. The guy who took him home, Frank Himmelgarden,
Yeah.
his grandson got in on our conversation. He said, "Well, I used to play on them when I was a
They're
kid."
in my backyard.
Yeah, they're in my grandpa's yard.
Come on by and
so-
pick them up.
So Paul Sessions, our founder, I'm not the founder. I know you called me the founder on the last.
You're the voice.
And
You're
the
the
president
voice.
now.
You're the president.
The
So-
big poopah.
Okay.
Grand poobah.
So your story's taking a lot longer than I expected, Stephen. That's okay. So you got together, you decided you want to restore the arches, and then the project begins. It's like, how do you get something like that off the ground, and where the hell are you going to put it?
Right. That was a 5-year struggle for us.
Right. And one of the places, I don't mean to interrupt, but one of the places that almost got approval was Newton Park, Crescent Park, right?
Yeah.
Well, by the volleyball
Yeah,
court. And
yeah.
then the county wanted, like Cecil said, was it Cecil that said this is a good spot? And then the town came in and said, bad idea.
Well, we started off wanting to put it where it was, at the base of the Matanzas Bridge at Main Street and San Carlos Boulevard.
Yeah.
And we could not get the political support.
Yeah. I
to
don't
do
think that was
kind
a
of
good
thing.
spot for it, though.
Why?
I don't know.
There's a lot of people that are upset because it's not going back there and it's not going back full scale. And then there's people that
Yeah.
uh,
I just think
I
you're
don't know if it
mixing
could've
modern and
gone
old.
back. I don't know that
It's
it
like
could
it's
have gone
more,
back
it's like a
full,
museum
but
thing.
yeah.
Don't you think? It's
I
more like a
mean,
museum.
I
You
think
want to visit it.
No.
they could have integrated it with a good designer. They could have integrated it
Yeah.
and made it a piece of history.
So I
and
call
then-
it Fort Myers Beach St. Louis Arches. You know, that it
Yeah.
defined you. I call it the Cinderella's Castle of Fort Myers Beach.
There you go.
It made Disney
what
World
Disney has,
famous.
This isn't
The
Disney,
arches
though.
made
Well,
The arches
sometimes-
made-
yeah,
I
because
see.
people who
I don't
lived
know.
here
I guess-
associated it with home. Everybody who came onto the island had to drive through it. Our visitors said, "Hey, there's Fort Myers Beach.
Yeah.
You're getting
Yeah.
ready to drive through the bridge."
But there
Yeah.
wasn't. But you didn't look like 30%. Would you have had enough to build it?
No, but we found a matching material source out on Alico Road at Youngquist.
Oh, yeah,
Rock
Youngquist.
Quarry.
Is that close to Alico?
Alico, tomato, potato, potato.
See, he's going to cancel you
Yeah,
no
I'm
matter
from
what.
the South.
South
Say it
South
whatever you
Jersey.
want.
Fort Myers.
Oh, I see. So where were we, by the way, in our
So
conversation?
no,
here?
how did you come about to get the arches where they're going in, which is down at Bowditch or Bowditch?
We started off with Larry Kiker, working with Larry, rest in peace. He's a good guy. I tried to get to talk to FDOT, never could. So Cecil
Pendergrass, county
great
rep.
guy.
Yep. From Gateway.
I have mad props for Cecil. He came up with Crescent Beach.
Yeah.
Well, he came up with it, not the town.
It's
So-
by the way, for those that don't know, it's owned that beach part of the beach is owned by the
by
county.
Lee County.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he approached the town, said, "We're gonna fund it." He was at that point, Lee County was.
Oh,
gonna
no
fund
kidding.
It. And the council said no.
They didn't want it right in the middle of the beach. Is what it was a bad spot. They said.
Yeah, And I get
That,
it.
by the way, that was the previous council, not this council. That was
Right.
Anita
That
was on
Anita
and Joanne, and that was a
the
different council.
previous
But
council.
so fast forward to this council, Jim Adderholt starts to get involved, and he's helping you try and find a spot for it. And you're looking in the different parks. And
Actually, Jim, his wife came up with the idea of putting it over there
She
in
did.
Lynn Hall Park.
I knew it couldn't have been Jim's idea. It was his lovely wife's idea.
Yeah,
That makes
Brenda.
100%
When
sense.
she came up with that idea, I was like,
Complete sense.
"Oh, that's
Complete sense.
awesome! That's awesome!" Because the guy who named Times Square, he had him, the whole story. That would be a perfect place for him. Well, then the town wanted me to find a few alternate locations, and by the time we found the alternate locations, and everybody went through the approval process, through the town, through the county, through the, our group, because our
Right.
group had to have some say. We're the ones funding it.
Yeah.
So we ended up accepting a small scale commemorative arch using some surfaces of the original arches.
Yep.
And sourced material from
Alico.
Road.
And by the way, for those of you that are watching and haven't been following along on this, you can go on their website and purchase a brick. We've purchased a brick for the show. What are they? There are two different prices for the bricks, 100 and 150, I think.
225 is
100
the
and
big one.
225, and we bought the 100 one, dear. Don't panic. We
Okay.
bought
Thank you.
the smaller brick for $100, and you'll put your name on it. You get your name engraved on it, and then it'll put it in the.
Yeah, you get 3 lines, 54 characters, 18 characters per line. So
What's the name of the website?
it is www.bricksrs.com/donor site
For crying out loud! For crying
Well,
out
you gotta
loud!
put
with
that
I'll
up
put it
there.
up there.
/.
Why don't you just make it impossible for people to
Yeah,
freaking
I'm
learn how to
sorry.
do it? So,
I'm just the messenger.
that's one way you're raising money. Another way you're raising money was you did a poker walk a couple weeks ago with Margaritas helped out. A lot of people on the beach
That
helped
was
out.
great. I wish we had more people participating in it. Come on, Fort Myers Beach.
Right.
We got a lot of out-of-towners helping us out. But I wish some of the citizens would jump behind that when we got an event.
How much is the project going to be, do you think? Or do
Well,
you know?
I was telling him all of our estimated costs so far have been on a quote that we got to build the
Gotcha.
Crescent Beach one scaled down.
Okay.
So until we get actual bidders on a contract for the one in Bowditch, which the engineering is in Jesse Lavender, director of Lee County Parks,
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah,
He can award a contract at any time. We might not be able to pay for it yet,
right.
but
So,
Right.
what's the total project going to cost about?
I'm thinking 53,000 now. And
53,000.
that's
Where are we at now?
I got the engineering paid for. We're at 21,000 in the bank, and I got some fantastic.
What? We have somebody here in the audience that we're going to ask to come over right now. And dear, I'm going to ask you to step up. Ladies and gentlemen, you may remember Alex King from a previous show. Alex is going to sit down from the King Foundation. Alex is going to sit down with us for a couple of minutes, and something special going on here. Alex, good to see you again, man. What you been up to?
I just got back from a cruise and back on the beach here. Life is good.
Where did you cruise to?
Barcelona to Miami.
Oh, very nice.
And his wife's luggage got lost.
What happened?
Well, it didn't show up on Tuesday, but the good news is it showed up yesterday.
Nice. So you
Yes.
had to buy her some new clothes.
Almost.
Very cool. So, Alex, tell our newer viewers and listeners about the King Foundation.
Sure. The King Family Foundation was started by my parents mainly to help mentally ill and started the Hope House in Fort Myers. And with their passing, we've grown a larger organization of helping communities on Fort Myers Beach in Southwest Florida. And it's important to really help maintain the history of the island. And that's how we connected.
The quickly dwindling history of the island.
Changing.
Yeah,
Changing. There'll be new history made.
Yeah.
So you're here for a specific reason, and I'll let you take it from here.
Well, sure. We have the King Family Foundation has decided to grant $20,000 to help get things kicked off on
Wow.
the construction, which will be handed over to you next week.
Very nice.
Mhm.
That is huge.
It is
right
huge.
there.
It puts us in being able to make the goal. I mean, we're not trying to complete the arches anymore. We can do this now.
Wow.
And I
Yes.
appreciate it. We're going to name the etched brick paver parkway walkway underneath the arches the King's Walk.
Oh, that's nice.
That's
So-
awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you for doing that. Thank you for doing it here on the show. We appreciate that. That's quite a donation. That is a huge donation.
It's huge,
Thank
isn't
you.
it?
And also, we're going to do a matching contribution through March up to funds raised up to $10,000.
Wow.
For our music festival. So if we raise up to $10,000, he'll match that. So,
Which
so
would-
we're hoping for max participation in our April 23rd music festival.
And where's that going to be?
Lanikai.
Okay. And we appreciate you coming on and doing that. Have you had any other donations to organizations that in the recent past since you were on the show last that you can share with us?
Well, sure. We're making donations to both of the arts communities on the island, the Mound House. We did another donation coming this week to the Women's Club. Also, the $10,000 donation to the Community Foundation.
Very nice. All great organizations.
So this month we're reaching, we think, everyone who didn't get touched this year.
Yeah,
So that was the goal.
that's awesome.
You got mad pops from the people at the Women's Club last
Yeah.
night. They had nothing but good things to say about you.
Of course.
And that comes from me too. You guys are doing some wonderful work and helping some wonderful nonprofits on the beach.
Well, we got to eat some chili today, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So
they
we're-
got that.
We're about to turn the chili world on its ear this afternoon. When we're going to have the special chili. It's going to be the winning chili. It's something that's never been done at the Women's Club before. You just watch what happens. Look for my sister. She has the big, long, ugly hair, and she's going to be sitting there serving you the best chili you've ever had.
Well, all sisters have big long.
Yeah.
hair, right?
Thank you so much for coming on, sir.
very
Thank you
much.
for everything you do for the beach, and we appreciate it very much. How about a big
And-
hand for Mr. King? He gave
and thank you
$20,000
for Fort Myers
donation to
Beach
the
Arches.
Arches today. Thank you. Where are you going? We're not done with you yet. Don't put that microphone down. All right, so that brings our grand total. I'm saying our now, like it's like I had anything to
did
do
you
with it.
have
I
to
bought a
do?
brick.
It is our, because this is a community group
Right.
doing
Right.
a community project for community history. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it is
So,
ours.
so that brings the total. I'm sure you said I've forgotten it
It's
already.
going to be $41,000
Wow.
in our bank.
Wow.
So remember, I was
You're
just
creeping
telling you,
up
I think
close.
the construction is going to be $53,000.
Nice.
I bet
We got
somebody
our
could do
Christmas
it.
tree at the Women's Club tonight.
Right.
Get on it, people.
You get at the
I
650
would
mark
think
on the
somebody
tree.
could do it for 41. I bet
I-
there's some contractor.
Yeah, we don't want a
out there
half-ass
could-
job at
No, no, no,
41,000.
no,
We
a
need to
local
have the full boat in
contractor
there.
That could
It
step
has to
up
be
the
built
plate.
according to the engineering drawing.
Right.
I
So,
mean,
Yeah.
you're not
This
going
is
to do it with
what she
popsicle
does. This is
sticks.
what she does at the house too. This is what she does. She sees one of those white trucks that drive by that only have 3 tires operating that cut down the trees, and instead of calling somebody that actually has a license, she flags them down and says, "Can you cut down our palm trees?" And what happens when she cuts down when they cut down the palm trees is they come through the top of the lanai cage.
Yeah, that
And
was
then
rough.
we have to flag the next white truck down with 3 tires to see if they can repair the lanai cage because
No,
she
those
wants to do it and
people
save money.
repaired it. They
We don't want
repaired
the
it.
arches to fall down on people, dear.
No,
We want the
no, we don't
arches
want
to
the
stay
arches.
up.
well, kids used to climb on them, though.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back in the day,
They were.
did
they
you
were
used to
right
climb
out
on
in
it? Did you used to
I
climb on
never
them?
climbed on the arches.
Uh-huh.
I never did.
Uh-huh.
I got a flat tire on my bicycle underneath them one time.
You've never had 2 whiskey
I
sours?
lived in Cypress Lake State, so I had to
I
walk my
see.
bike.
Well, did we miss anything, Stephen Ray McDonald? By the way, you're a lot funnier in person than you are on the Facebook.
Well, I can't make people laugh with my fingers.
I see. Wow, that's exciting. We're at that sounded creepy a little bit now that I think about it. So 43,
Keyboard, the keyboard.
41 or 43. I better write it
41,
down.
and it's
41.
going to be 53.
For-
He
41.
thinks it's
We
gonna be
think 53.
53. Wait till
reason
did you
being
tell
that-
Cecil about this yet? Cecil,
I have not told
should just
Cecil.
call him.
Cecil.
we should just call him.
I,
That's awesome.
when I get back home, I'll have a lot more time
I'm
Take
surprised you
care.
didn't cry when he said that you were going to get
I
Oh,
was
$20,000.
afraid he was
I,
gonna.
It's
You-
emotional.
It would have. I think you should have cried. Next, you should practice
Oh
that.
my goodness.
Well, I
Yes.
can't force one out.
All right, man. We'll see you tonight at the Women's Club. Unless-
No, I'll be visiting my
Oh, I
brother in
see.
the hospital.
Okay. Well, good luck to your
Oh,
brother and
well,
all
good luck
that.
with
And
that, yeah.
did we miss anything? You want anything? You want anybody else to know anything about the arches? They're going to be over when they're finally built. They're going to be over in Bowditch Park. When you walk out the back by the building and you're coming through the walkway there with all those nice trees are.
It is
You're going to
pretty
see the
over there.
arches. You're going to be able to take pictures at the arches. Steven's going to be like one of the Disney characters standing out there, taking pictures.
And the marketing slogan is take a picture under the arches and you'll come back to Fort Myers Beach just like the arches did.
Oh, there
So
you go.
You need to
we're
shorten-
hoping the
You need
town
to shorten
picks-
that a little. That's a little long.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was waiting for it to rhyme too. It didn't rhyme.
I know.
Listen,
Yeah.
Are you going to work on that
Are you
now?
going to work on that?
I'll
Submit
work
some
on it.
stuff?
Yeah. I'm
Nothing
good at that
creepy.
kind of stuff. Nothing creepy. Nothing.
Nothing
All right.
inappropriate.
All right, everybody, having a big hand for Stephen Ray McDonald.
Restore Fort
crowd
Myers Beach Arches.
is going
There
wild.
we go.
All right, before Dan Allers comes on, we are going to give away some tickets. So the wife is going to read an ad. Anybody here in the live studio audience, we're actually playing the show outside. I could see all the people are getting tired of hearing the show out there. We're going to give away 2 tickets to the next Fort Myers Beach Friends of the Arts concert, which is going to be January the 7th. We're going to do Motown trivia right now. I'm going to put the picture of the show. We're going to do Motown trivia while you're reading the ad. Here's the show right there. The Girls of Motown. I'm sorry, it's January 13th at 7 o'clock. Here is the question. Are you ready? Are you ready, dear? Which of these Motown artists, well, not which, name the Motown artist that was the lead singer for the Commodores? Who was the lead singer for the Commodores? The first person to type the answer in the chat box is going to win the tickets.
All right. And you know what I'm going to be talking about? Fort Myers Tiki Tours. You can reach them at 239-887-0042. You need to go out there. You need to go over to Salty Sam's, rent you a boat. They provide the captain. They provide the ice chest. They provide the entertainment. You can bring your music. You and 5 of your friends can take a leisurely cruise down the intercoastal, the bay, whatever you want to call it. You might see some manatees, hopefully. You might see some dolphins, hopefully. It's a nice leisurely ride. I was talking to somebody about it at work, and they thought it was like that they would get seasick on it. And I said, Katie, you're not going to get seasick. It goes very, very slow. It's very relaxing. It glides along. People are taking your pictures like you're a rock star or movie star. So give them a call at 239-887-0042. It can be for anything. It's a great thing for you and your family. It's a great team building thing, party, anniversary. If you don't like your husband, you can push him off. No, just kidding. So give them a call, 239-887-0042. Did you get an answer to your question?
I did get an answer. Apparently, it was way too easy, but Mitch is the winner. The answer is Lionel Richie. Very nice. Mitch got it right out of the gate there. And Mitch is going to get the tickets to see the Girls of Motown, January the 13th, which is next month is January. We got a lot of people guessing.
Very good, dear.
Yeah.
Next month.
Judy got it wrong. Judy guessed Smokey Robinson.
Huh.
But that's a good guess. Well,
Yeah, it
Sue
is.
guessed Smokey Robinson. Let's see. Bob got it right. I don't know who Skylar Jr. is, Kathy. Is that a singer? Never heard of Skylar Jr.
Don't know.
Skylar Jett. Diana Ross. Judy guessed Diana Ross. Let's see. Mitch won. So Mitch is going to get the tickets.
Congratulations.
All right, before we get to our next guest, is going to be Dan Allers. I need to let people know that if you've been kind of following along the Facebook.
Are
one
you
thing-
going to turn that around?
Yeah. One thing I learned about the Facebook on Friday after posting a couple of things about stuff that was going on was nobody works on Friday. Nobody
think that's
had
true.
done a lick of work on Friday, or at least they're all on the Facebook on Friday because there was a lot of people commenting.
Apparently, you're not doing a lick of work
No.
either.
Don't tell the boss that, but no, I don't hardly do any work
Which
on
you
Friday.
got a nice gift from
Yes.
your boss.
Yes. Yes. By the way, let's tell that story.
Okay.
So, and I want to know what people would do if this happened to them.
Oh my.
My boss from the magazine lives in Dayton, and she got a nice gift of Captain Morgan. She decided instead of sending she used to send
private stock, stuff because you have a specific taste.
Right. And I don't drink the cheap stuff.
You just don't. All right.
And so she used to send these baskets full of cheese and crackers and the whole
Which
thing.
I loved. And she makes
and was always a gift for her.
Cookies.
So this year she sent the Captain Morgan. So it was a delivery. The delivery guy comes to the door, and he's like, I need your ID to scan your
first
ID.
You thought it was a woman that was coming,
Well,
right?
that's what it said on my phone. It said Marla's coming, and Marla came, and Marla looked like a man, but it could have been, who knows? People name their son Marla these days. But anyway, so he's like, I need to scan your ID. I said, wait a second. Now I'm thinking Greg Skasny here. Like if somebody went to his house and said, I need to scan your ID, like the guy was a driver. He could have, who knows what they're going to do with my driver's license.
Nobody
I said,
wants
listen, I'll
your
show you my
driver's
ID, but I'm
license.
not going to let you scan my
I know,
ID.
But he has a job to do. He can't be held responsible for you.
Nobody.
Somebody coming out there with a fake ID. I mean, obviously,
I said to
you're
the guy,
over the age of 21.
I said to the guy, look at me, I'm ancient.
I know, but he's got to do his job. Just like these guys, they got to ask for ID.
Okay,
and
but
if it's part of the,
dear, I was willing
the delivery thing to have it scanned. You know what? I went out there, gave it. He had trouble with the app anyway, so
I was willing to
typing
show it to
anyways.
him. I didn't want him scanning my driver's license.
What's he
That's
gonna
how
do
your
with it?
identity gets stolen.
Oh, for the love
His
of
name
Pete.
was Marla. You would have let him
'cause
scan
everybody
it.
wants
You
to
would have
be
let him
you.
scan it.
I would have let him scan it. I know who he is. I
All
scanned
right.
him. I took a picture of him. That way we're clear.
I didn't really even want to tell that story, but you got
He
me
was
sidetracked.
so nice, so sweet.
We have a radio station that we're starting, a 24-hour music radio station that I want everybody to suggest songs for. It's all beach music. Where
and suggest little, right?
Little what?
The little one-liner
Yeah,
things.
one-liner things. I've been recording people out here, but we want you to suggest songs, and you can email them to me or text them to me, and we're going to put them in the lineup there. We need about 80
things
beachy
that
music.
you would want to hear at the beach or on
not Gordon
vacation.
Lightfoot or Helen Reddy, like your mom would suggest or your dad would suggest. We need some upbeat beachy songs that don't put people to sleep. No chick
What about
songs.
Beach Boys?
We have 2 Beach Boys songs in there. That was borderline. Beach Boys and Jan and Dean. I even stuck one of those in there, but it's kind of Jan and Dean. It's like
don't know.
So with a lot of Jimmy Buffett in there, a lot of country songs, and we have people that are listening to it. If you want to test it out, we want to send you. You can listen to the test while we're getting ready to launch it on January 1st, and it's going to be part of an app. We have an app that has all the news stories on it and one click so you can listen to the music.
I actually, because I'm not.
It's got to be
with that
easy.
Stuff.
Got to make it easy
sat
for
out
people.
there today, and it was really easy.
Right. See that?
Way
See?
easier than going in my email.
If she can do it, a monkey can do it. All right, dear. We have a special guest coming to sit in, and we have a gift for our special guest. So why don't you go see if you can find the special guest in the crowd while I tell everybody about Beach Pottery. I stopped at Beach Pottery today to give them their Christmas gift because they've been such great advertisers of ours. But we want to make sure that we tell you about Beach Pottery. They're located at 17980 San Carlos Boulevard. They have pots, planters of every size from $5 to $500. They're open from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. And my favorite part of Beach Pottery are the pots from Vietnam. Because of all that time I spent in Vietnam, I shouldn't say that. I didn't spend a day in Vietnam, but in my dreams, I wish I went to Vietnam. And now I just talk about Vietnam and that they make great pots in Vietnam. I don't know if they make them in the rice paddy fields or where they make the pots, but they make really good pots because Alana wouldn't sell crappy pots. She sells nice pots from anywhere from $5 to $500. There are also pots from Mexico, which is a country south of the United States. It's not New Mexico. It's the country of Mexico. And they have great pots. Apparently, the folks in Mexico make pots almost as good as the people from Vietnam. So all kinds of pots and planters, and they now have a cafe. So as you're thinking about Vietnam and Mexico, you can go to Beach Pottery and sit down and have a sandwich and have an espresso drink or a smoothie or whatever. Cake pops. I don't even know what the hell cake pops are, but they sell cake pops there. I'm sure they're delicious. Anything with the word cake in it has to be delicious. All right. After our next guest, we have 2 more tickets to give away to see the Girls of Motown. And I'm thinking Girls of Motown is going to be a fun show. You're shaking your head at me for some reason. What were you shaking your head at?
Come on over.
All right. Here's our guest. Look at how
Here
he's
is our
dressed. He's
guest,
dressed
yes.
in the, he's got a
Spirit
brand,
of
you can see he's got
the
a brand,
season.
this is a brand new Santa shirt because it's still got the lines in it. Dan?
Oh no, this isn't new. It's
Oh,
Wow.
I see.
it's new to you.
I see.
Yeah,
You
he's got a
pressed
good
it.
crease in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
you see,
he pressed it.
you iron your own shirts too. Very nice. You are in the
That's a good
Christmas
one.
spirit,
Yeah,
Dan.
you won't put an iron in my hand. There'd be all
So-
kinds of fire department.
So,
issues.
Dan, how was the Women's Club Day 1 event last night?
It was good. I think, my understanding, they sold 3 trees last night and 2 wreaths. So
And
It
the
was
only
a-
way you can buy a tree on day 1 is if you like do the eBay thing, like the asking for price.
exactly, if you do the buy it now, you can buy the tree and nobody else gets a shot at it. So
So what trees do you know? Do you remember? Is-
actually, the tree that the Allers family donated for Sophia that went last
Nice.
night.
Oh,
Nice.
do you remember the
the-
price?
What's that?
What was the price?
The buy it now price was $2,500.
Nice,
So
very nice.
So we
Nice.
decided that we would, there was a lot of people that were interested in that tree, and so we decided that we are going to
do
try to-
another one?
no, we're gonna
Oh.
we're actually going to raise the little bit of money it's going to take and ship it up to Sophia so
Oh,
she
very
can have
cool.
it for Christmas.
Tell everybody who doesn't know who Sophia is.
Sophia is the daughter of some island people who are Marcel and Milda. That Marcel works at Diamond Head. He's been there for about 15 years, and their daughter is going through some cancer issues that came back, and they're up in Philadelphia dealing with that. Sorry.
Okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Well, that's great. So, you said 3 trees.
Nice
3
job.
trees went last night, and how many trees are left?
There are 13 left, I believe.
13 trees left.
Did the
and-
wine
I'm getting
tree
the
go?
nod.
Yeah, we-
Oh, okay. The
I'm glad-
wine tree is still available, folks.
Oh, great.
You got to
Yes,
go down there
yeah.
and check out the wine tree.
I think the Sophia tree went. I think the other one was donated by Meyer's side. That
Okay.
tree went,
Very cool.
and I can't remember the other one. But the donations went up pretty fast late last night.
Nice.
So,
Good crowd last night.
oh yeah, it was pretty. I mean, it was a VIP kind of thing, so it was very, very mild. But there was a lot of people out there that took a lot of interest in it. I'm sure Ray told you their arches trees out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful tree.
How about that donation from the
Yeah.
King Foundation?
Yeah, that was pretty. I just heard that. That's
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
nice.
that was-
And Alex said he also gave a donation to the Women's Club and a
Yeah.
couple other organizations. So,
Yeah,
That's
he's a
cool.
great guy.
so
His
before we get to the bike parade, Dan puts on the bike Christmas Carol parade every year. I have a gift for you. I have a
Well-
gift for you.
And we have some bad news for you.
You do?
yes.
yeah.
What's the bad
I
news?
can't believe that as much as you know about stuff, you would not recognize that in the capacity that he's in, he cannot accept gifts.
Well, you can give it back to me. I just want you to open it. How about that?
Okay, I can
Okay.
open it, and then you could donate it.
What
if you want.
capacity is he in? What are you talking about?
As a council member, you're not allowed to accept gifts.
Oh, we can't be friends. You have to be a council member all the time. You'll get it. You'll get. Well, if those
I'll
of
open
you,
it, and then I'll give it
okay,
back.
those of you, and I'll
Believe
wear
me,
it
you're gonna
proudly.
want- you're gonna wanna
not
give
going to
it-
want to keep it anyway.
You're going to want to give it back.
For-
and
for-
just,
wait,
no, no,
wait. For
I get
everybody
this in.
who
No,
watched the
I had nothing to do with this.
Dan mentioned something at the M&P meeting this past week that
Oh,
kind
I
of
already know what it is.
sparked a fire, and it was actually turned out to be great for the business.
It did.
There's a new business on is it Old San Carlos?
It is.
And it's called what's it called? Called Big Dick
It's,
something or
Big
other.
Dick Salty
And
Semen.
so I got Dan a shirt. It was just kind of like a gag gift. What does it say on the back?
It says
And
Gulf of Mexico, Fort Myers Beach, Florida,
Oh, cool.
1975.
so
And on the front it says Big Dick Salty Semen.
so really what happened last week I thought was pretty cool because
Yeah.
they got so much free publicity as a result of what happened. We and I know you don't mean to disparage a business.
Yeah.
That certainly wasn't what it was intended for.
Well, if I may, I want
Sure.
to bring up why I brought it up.
Okay.
So one of the neighboring businesses, when the sign evidently was in the window, there was a sign that said "Coming soon, Big Dick Salty Semen," and they took offense to that. So they brought it to my attention, as well as some other residents and a couple of people that were visiting. So I told them that I would bring it up during the meeting, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Just like I've tried to do for every other
Sure.
Mhm.
thing that gets
Sure.
brought up to me. Well, evidently it made national radio and it made all this other. So
well,
it-
let me
so
tell
they,
you
they,
how
they,
it.
they
let me-
definitely got a
Yeah.
good publicity.
Oh, for sure. We jokingly posted it on Facebook, and then we followed it up with a story about what are the worst business names that you've ever heard of, and people were having a fun time with
Sure,
it, and they were coming up with, well, some of these names are 10 times worse than that one.
You're screaming.
And sorry, dear. And what happened was Maria, who works for K-Rock, she watches the show. She talked about it on K-Rock, and then the 2 TV stations caught wind of it, and they went down and they interviewed the manager. The guy got a ton of publicity. You can't buy that kind of advertising, and good for them. I mean, if they're making money from it, I mean, obviously nobody can do anything about a business name. At least I don't think so. Maybe
one of your listeners from Indiana contacted me this week and said that they were talking about it on a national show up there.
Oh, is that right?
Tom and Bob.
Oh,
show
Bob and
or-
Tom.
Tom.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and see if I can find that audio. Very cool. So anyway, that's not really why you were here. And by the way, for those of you that keep track of election stuff, I have the gift back. I will wear it, and there's no
It
gift
really-
exchange.
Yeah.
It
no.
was just for kind
It
of
was
a
just
fun
for him.
thing.
It was an opening exercise.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just to test your skills.
Sure.
So, any town issues you want to go over first, or anything that people should be aware of? I mean, you're here. Why the hell not, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody's pretty well aware of the capital improvement projects that are going on. I think you've noticed that they've started doing some work at the school down there to get the playground and that kind of stuff's being done. The stuff at Bayside Park should be getting started fairly soon. Obviously this time of year it's kind of slow with everything. So after the first year, I think you might see stuff ramping up, and Times Square is still in the movement. We're just kind of waiting for that, the funding for the grant that we were going for that. So everything's moving forward. It's pretty positive. You see, obviously Margaritaville is coming out of the ground, so they're moving pretty swiftly.
We did it for those that are just tuning in. We did a video earlier this morning. We're going to do a video every Saturday morning before the show about how you can start to see they're putting steel in the ground now. They must have had 30 people over there working earlier today. He said he started at 4:00.
Yeah, that company Diamond DeAngelis, they we've worked with them in my normal job that I do. That we've worked with them in the past, and they're really a well-run outfit. They take pride in what they do, and they're very safe company. So we're pretty fortunate to have them on the beach working.
The Estero Boulevard project is going to end at the end of this year and the beginning of next year. So that's
Merry
took
Christmas.
6 years.
The December 20th through the 23rd, they're going to be laying down the pavement to finish off the pavement through the south end. So that's exciting. And they're saying the first quarter of 2022 before they have, or 2022 before they have the final layer of asphalt and striping done. So
cool.
You've been riding your bike on that
it's great.
forever, right?
It's a great
A
ride.
lot of people, that sidewalk and that bike lane have made such a huge difference for this island that you're seeing more and more families, more and more people who couldn't get up and down the island before are starting to use it. So it's doing exactly what it was supposed to do.
And the Bayside project, the lighting question aside, whether or not the lighting thing is right, and that's a whole nother story. But the Bayside Park project was supposed to start, or is supposed to start in the first quarter of the year.
Correct.
The Times Square, for those that don't know, they're totally ripping up Times Square and replacing it, and it's going to look unbelievable. If the pictures are what the final result is going to be anything like, it's going to look great. And from what I understand, they're waiting for season to end this time around before they start the project. I don't know if they're doing it in 1 season or 2 seasons, but that's what they're waiting for, the season to end.
There's been some talk about that with the Times Square Merchants Association to decide what they have to operate business here. So we're trying to work with them and figure out, do they want to just essentially rip off the Band-Aid and get it done, or do you want to try to spread it out over 2 seasons? And I think those talks are still going on, but I think it's leaning towards just let's get it done and move on.
Cool.
Well, and it's hard to, now it seems like season lasts so long, it's
shorter
really,
off season.
Yeah.
There's
so
really, which
at
is
some
fortunate
point
for everybody. There's really no downtime. But
right.
So today, starting at 3:30, the Women's Club is back in action, which is Sterling Avenue.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sterling. It's right behind the car wash.
Right behind the car wash. The chili contest starts at 3:30. We hope you come down and look for our signs. And if you see Reed, I don't know, I think Reed's got COVID or something, or he's got a cold or something.
Yeah.
And so I'd stay away from Reed and his chili. It might be a pot of mud that he has there, not chili. But we're going to revolutionize the chili contest this year.
You and your sister.
We've come up with something that's going to be unique, something brand new. and you're never going to forget this chili
Oh,
this year.
yes.
A new
So-
style hot dog,
and we want you to vote for us. We want you to do like the Democrats did in the election, vote twice or 3 or 4
Oh,
times,
stop.
and vote for Beach Talk Radio's chili because is there a prize? Oh, I get to wear that. I get to take that belt away from Reed.
It's a
it's a
jacket.
green jacket. Yeah, we
Yeah.
were fortunate enough to the elf and Santa were fortunate enough to tie Reed one year. There's still I think a recount on that because there was something that
Listen,
came up, but he was gracious enough to allow Santa to take the jacket, but there was a size issue that the jacket didn't quite fit. So
it didn't quite fit Reed.
no, it didn't quite fit Santa. So
Oh, I see.
so Santa had to graciously give it back to Reed to hold on to for another year. But
I see. Well, I think there should be a wrestling match if there's a tie. I mean, there can't be a tie in this because there's only one belt.
It's one jacket.
No, he's got a championship belt in his garage. He must have made that himself then. He showed me he had a championship belt. He said
he
it was like
probably did. He
it was
probably
like
did.
a wrestling thing
Well,
that he was traipsing around the
He takes
house.
pride in his cooking.
It's out of the can,
You're
Dan.
so easily.
It's out, his chili is out of the can.
Yeah.
It's not even real
You're
chili.
so naive
So anyway, enough about the chili contest.
that you're not gonna win.
That we're gonna win. How many entries are in the chili contest, boss? Do we know?
9.
9? Oh, damn.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. Are the firemen going to be there this year? Fort Myers Beach
Firemen?
Fire
Firemen, I
Department?
don't think are there.
Oh,
this year.
good, because people
Yeah.
people are just attracted to firemen for some reason, and,
Well, yeah.
I'm glad they're not going to be
Some
there.
more than others. But
Yeah. So let's talk about the real reason you're here. Is the bicycle parade, which is next Saturday. Wait till you see the lights that I have. I am going to light up the whole street with what I
You know,
have. I need a battery pack. I'm wearing a backpack with a power pack in it. That's how many lights I'm going to have.
There's
Listen,
so
it's-
many different ways
At
to
least
go
it's
with
not
that.
turtle
You
season.
got to go home.
Yeah,
You got to
that's
go
true.
heavy or go home, man.
Well, yeah. I mean, every year this will be the 6th year, and every year it gets bigger and bigger and better and better, and people really enjoy it. They contact us throughout the year to find out when the date's going to be. You know, it backs up to the Beach and Brew event that my wife does every year at Lover's Key, and then obviously the Christmas Tree Festival is a big event. So it kind of tailors on that, but this one is a very low key, doesn't take a lot of setup, manual labor. It's just
Right.
decorate your bike, get on and go, or some people will be.
It's got to be a bicycle. Can it be a
doesn't,
stroller?
It can,
Can it?
whatever you feel. I mean, as long as it's street legal. If it's a golf cart, it's got to be street legal.
No motorized bikes, though. You have to be a peddler. Come on.
Well,
No,
some
they're
people,
not.
some people, require the assistance of some pedaling,
Right.
or with a motor on their bike to be able to join. So I'm not going to discourage them from.
It's got to
coming.
be something with wheels.
We don't ride on the sidewalks. We try not to ride on the sidewalks. We will have a police escort.
Oh, very
for the
nice.
Entire,
Very cool.
For the
Oh.
entire event. So we will. That helps with traffic.
Could
It helps
someone with a skateboard come?
Sure, if they
Okay.
want to push along.
How are they going to get lights on a skateboard? You got to put effort into
Maybe
this,
send them
right?
the link to the battery
Yeah,
pack.
yeah.
Maybe they can.
Hey, I'll have extra. I'll have an extension cord. I'll have one of those
What are you
power
going to do with
strips.
an
If
extension
somebody
Sure.
if somebody needs to plug in and
Yeah.
charge up, I'll have plenty of power tonight.
Yeah, it'll be
next
it'll
weekend,
be fun.
not tonight.
We're gonna meet at Junkanoo at 6:00. We're gonna try to leave as close as possible at 6:00 from the Junkanoo parking lot. Then we ride through Red Coconut. There's always kids and stuff in there that enjoy riding, so we go up and down every street in there.
You're
And-
not throwing candy or anything, right?
We encourage people if they want to bring candy.
Okay.
Last year and a couple of years past, people will bring some gifts that they wrap up, dollar gifts to hand out to the kids.
Mhm.
Last year, we donated a bike to a kid that needed it. We stopped at
Cool.
a place where his guardian was working and he was there, so we gave him a bike. So that was. So every year we're trying to top it a little bit more, and
So, kids, when you see you'll see my bicycle and I'll be the one with the most lights. I'll be throwing out little cups of unused chili from Reed that nobody will want to eat tonight. So instead of candy, you can come up and get the
You'll be throwing
frozen
out carrots
frozen chili
and
from the SOB.
protein
By
bars.
the way, back to the SOB. SOB stands, just in case you want to tell Rexanne, it stands for Smoking Oyster Brewery.
yeah, I'm sure she knows.
So I digress
So
there.
can anyone join?
Anyone can join. It's free. It's if you want to bring toys to throw out or hand out to the kids. Usually by the time we make it down to Bayside Park and come up San Carlos, there's a good amount of kids that seem to gravitate towards Santa. and
Where do the
Grinch.
kids come from?
Wait a minute.
They're
How
just visiting.
I see.
They're just visiting.
how
Cool.
far is that? How far of a bike ride is that?
So we take off from Junkanoo. We're going to go this year. We're going to go down Ohio Street.
Okay.
We try to find streets that have a turnaround at the end because it's
Yeah.
there's last year I think we even though it was a little the weather was not quite so good. We had I think 40 or 50.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah.
So,
That's right. It rained a little bit last year.
So we still had turning around and getting back and forth on
Right.
it. So we're going to go down Ohio this year. We're going to go down and wrap around Palermo Circle. Then we'll go down Crescent and we'll make a stop in Bayside Park and take pictures with the people that want to take some pictures and
If it
use the restroom there.
if it rains, I won't be coming because I'll be.
You're going to melt in the
No,
back.
and I'll be sparked on fire if it rains.
Are you
I'll
going
have
to
so
wear
many.
the Christmas sweater?
Yes, I am going to wear Megan's Christmas sweater. I've grown fond of the Christmas
Yeah,
sweater.
You have
It's
no
gotten a
idea
lot
how
of
proud
wear
you've
out
made
of
her
it.
that she,
And I'm going to have lights on it too, by the way.
Wow.
Now, how many bikes are you expecting this year? You got to have more than last year,
well,
right?
I hope we never really know because it's not an RSVP thing. It's
Right.
Yeah, just
kind
show
of
up.
show up and people will just. We had more. I think we had 60 or 70 people scheduled to come last year,
Until it
but
rained.
the rain,
Yeah.
and then,
Yeah.
so they kind of stayed back. But
Right.
and we picked some people up along the way that don't necessarily want to meet that early, and they'll jump in as we're riding up and down the street. So
Cool.
it's always a good event. It doesn't cost anything. I've had a lot of people this year reach out that want to know where they can donate money. So maybe next year we'll try to raise something for a nonprofit that people want to donate
Yeah.
some money to it, that it can go to that. 'Cause
Maybe the arches.
maybe you never know. It's got to go to something that's
Now we're so close to getting those arches built with that check from the
Now
King Foundation today. Yeah, now
They-
we're
now
all
they-
in now.
now-
it's nice that it took a lot of collaboration with the county and the
Yeah,
town and,
yeah.
and the arch people they worked very hard. They were
Yeah,
very
that's-
diligent
Mhm.
and we got
Labor of
good
love there.
commissioners,
Yeah.
a bunch of good commissioners and some good counselors, and we all got together and
It's the right spot too. I think it's the
it
right
worked out
spot.
well. Yeah, Jim Adderholt pretty much championed that.
His wife
Mhm.
came up with the idea. We
Well,
found that out
That's-
today.
yeah.
It wasn't him.
Yeah, well, he grabbed the bull by the horns and took that and ran with it. So it's nice to see that's finally coming to fruition.
When you guys have a town council meeting, is he actually speaking for himself, or is she talking to his phone and that's her actually giving him all the information? You don't need to answer that. but-
Yeah, man. I'm so far away I can't see it.
That's right. Are you guys ever going to get back to your regular chairs?
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I sure hope so. I mean, it's not that I don't enjoy the space. It's just it feels like
Yeah.
you're
You're the only ones left in the state of Florida that are still going by the COVID rules.
well, and where I sit, I'm in charge of running the that's normally where the town clerk sits. So I'm sitting where the buttons are for the people when they speak during the 3 minutes.
Oh,
and
I didn't know that.
sometimes I'm so listening to what's going on that I'm not
You
hitting
forget to
the,
cut
the
them
3
off.
minutes. And
There was a guy that
Not cut 'em
came
off, but
Oh,
start the
yeah,
timer.
there was a guy.
There was a guy at the start of the meeting off this past time that rambled on, and we couldn't figure out anything that he was saying or talking about. But
Was-
you'll have to go
well,
back
there
and
was
watch
some
that, folks.
stuff, but it yeah.
Sometimes it just
was
went
a little-
out this
yeah,
way and then came
was-
back and went that
mhm.
way, and nobody knew what he was talking about.
his name was Phil. He comes out maybe once or twice a year and lets us know that there's some things that he's not happy about.
Did you
So-
follow what he's unhappy about during his?
Well, yeah. I mean, it probably was difficult for you guys to hear
Yeah.
out on the. But that's an update. That's coming.
Speaking
Did you-
about
did you hear
difficult
about
to
that?
hear,
Did
yes.
you
Go
hear
ahead and
about that?
update everybody.
Let's hear about hearing better.
I've been complaining.
One of the things that have been a very big issue with myself included, even before I was on council, was it was very difficult to hear. And
This
and-
is what it's. Go ahead. You keep talking. This is what it sounds like at the council meeting. Go
some
ahead. Dan.
people might like that you're turning off the microphone. All the equipment has arrived, so we approved bypassing one meeting to be able to get it done. They need 3 weeks to complete everything, test everything. So it should be done in February. Everything should be done, and then hopefully everything goes well and you can hear, and because it's very important stuff that some people are missing out on.
Yeah, and it's a complete upgrade. Even the visual stuff is going to be upgraded from
Yeah.
what I remember, right?
Yeah, it's infrastructure, it's the audio, video, everything is being upgraded. So, it's technology. When you're dealing with, it's like a computer. I always tell people by the time you get your computer home and out of the box, it's outdated. So
Yeah.
it's difficult to stay up with the times, but this should hopefully catapult the town into the future for a while anyway.
Before we let you go, is there anything else that the boss wants us to talk about as far as the women's club tonight? We want to make sure that we have everything on the table. The trees will be gone at the end of tonight because the auction ends tonight.
Yeah,
There's
hopefully,
trees and there's wreaths.
Raffle
Yeah.
tickets.
There's still raffle
tickets.
There's and gift wall items. Yeah, you could come out and I think it's $25, $50, and $100 values. And if my understanding, you at least get back whatever you put in. So if you buy a $25 box, you get back at least $25
Nice.
worth of something. Some
Nice.
have more. So you're at least getting a return on your investment, I guess, if you will.
And the
Right.
chili contest starts at 3:30 today. You can't miss us. We're going to have our yellow shirts on. My sister's got the
I was
biggest.
supposed to ask if you
hair.
have those in women tank tops.
No tank
No,
top.
no
She,
tank tops.
we
We're
actually
gonna get
we'll get some new.
different
I asked her.
shirts, so.
Your wife is like a professional organizer. I mean, the T-shirts that you guys got for Lovers Key were. I
Oh,
wear
those
it
are
every day.
nice. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
super nice T-shirts. So we're gonna get some new T-shirts.
Well, she does. I'm kind of a picky person when it comes to T-shirts, especially
Yeah.
if they're too hot. So
Yeah.
I try to give her some advice. She doesn't listen to me, but
Yeah. I
think you can relate.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
I can relate.
Ladies and
I
gentlemen,
do
the great
relate.
councilman from
Thanks, guys.
district number, what district?
District of Estero Island.
Okay, Dan Allers, and we'll see you tonight. Be parking cars tonight, or
No, I'm going to be slinging my chili. So
oh, you're in
Oh,
the
you're in it
contest
too?
too. What's your chili flavor going to be? Come on.
Can't tell.
it's going to be
She already
good.
got my recipe, so she can put it up there.
Well, I will.
What's yours?
Well, it's free range. Let's just say that.
Free
Ah.
range. What does that mean?
Well,
Is
you'll have to
chicken in
find
it?
out.
Is that what that means, Dan?
No chicken
Free
in it.
range.
No.
I'm not. It's chicken
All
in
right.
chili. I mean, I'm from Midwest.
Anyway, I'll let you taste our specialty tonight, Dan.
You're really building up. You're
It's
kind
right.
of, you're making it sound like one of those movies that everybody
My
talks
sister
about, or
came.
documentary,
My
and then
sister
when
came
you
to the house, and she had a
actually see
great
it, it's kinda like,
idea,
well,
and I went for it. So she better
You're
pull
kinda
through
like,
tonight.
Well,
She better pull through
Okay.
you might
tonight.
lose some credibility as much as you hype
No,
up this
no,
I
there's
know.
no. I have no credibility to lose. So let's make sure we
there's
know
an
the facts
issue
here.
There's a discrepancy between confidence and competence here.
No, you
so
have to
we'll
talk-
see.
People are going to stand in front of that chili and they're going to go, "Wow, I know your mom passed away a long time ago, but her chili's fabulous." You know?
Oh, there's
Wow.
your mom's recipe.
Yeah.
Now
So there you
How
go.
many times have you
It's
made
my
it?
mother's recipe.
How many
Huh?
times have you made it?
I've never made it. My
Oh.
sister's in charge of.
Have you
the-
tasted
I,
it yet?
I eat the same stuff every day, Dan. It's not chili.
You're kind of vanilla, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty
You don't like
plain.
to- you don't like to veer off
No.
the
No,
path too much.
no
No.
veering. Veering is bad for you.
Well,
Not with
I'm-
food.
I'll see
No.
you guys tonight.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to
Yeah, we are.
the jet powered battery pack for
Yeah.
the bike thing. And
The
please,
lights
everyone,
are still
come out and
coming
join
in.
us. It's a good event.
We're meeting at
goes
Junkanoo.
from- Meeting at Junkanoo at 6:00. We're usually done by 8:30, 9:00. People kind of come and go as they
There's
want.
a party at the end or something?
No, there's not. People
Nothing
gather.
organized.
Yeah,
but
nothing
yeah.
organized, but we'll end at the Hoosiers Diamond Head area. 8:30, 9
Oh.
o'clock. But
I like the Hoosiers people. They're very nice.
Very nice people.
Yeah.
They're very gracious. They're very helpful in the community. So
Yeah.
that's been the route that's worked the best. So that's what we're sticking with.
All right.
Awesome.
Big
Well,
hand
thank
for
you
Dan
so
Allers,
much.
everybody. He's
Have
doing
a
a
good one.
fabulous
See you guys
job, and we're
later
going to see him tonight at the Women's Club for the 4th annual Tree and Wreath Festival auction kind of thing. And the
Well,
chili,
I'm impressed.
I'm taking home the belt, as who used to do that? Hulk Hogan used to say, "Going
There's
home
no
with the belt,
You're
baby."
taking home the jacket.
Reed better bring his belt tonight so he can
And
relinquish it.
listen, Your sister's taking it. if
No,
you
she's
win.
not taking
Yes.
it. I'm gonna be hanging
she's
it up.
making the chili.
I'm going to be hanging it up right here with my new
Please.
on-air sign. I don't know if anybody noticed the new accoutrements
Yes.
that we bring. Okay, we have tickets to give away.
I am really impressed that you kept it very
What?
not not
Non-political?
bringing- Yeah.
I'm getting fed up with the politics
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
I
so
thought you were going to bring up all the parking and all the
no,
stuff. Yeah.
and it's the Christmas time. We're in the Christmas mood, and our friends from Canada were here, and I was
bailed
hoping they
out.
stay to the end of the show, but we have some folks that we missed because of the one weekend I had COVID. They came down for a visit, and we didn't get a chance to see them, but it was nice to see them. They visit every few weeks, I guess. They're coming back at Christmas. So we have listeners in Canada, which I think puts us at the 11. We have 11 listeners now. So
In
if you want,
Canada?
no, total,
Oh.
overall. If you want to win 2 tickets to see the Girls of Motown, and I'm not saying that, folks. That's the actual name of the band. See, the Girls of Motown are playing. It's the Rock in the Bay Winter Concert Series, Thursday, January 13th at 7 o'clock. Which Motown group had a hit with the song Baby Love in the early 60s? This is another easy one. Go ahead, dear, sing it. Who is the Motown group with the hit from the 60s called Baby Love? Let's see.
Can I guess?
No, you can't guess
I
yet.
know, because it'd be just my luck
Right,
I'd get it right,
right.
one time.
And
Well, are people guessing? Because I have a little story.
I have to read about the Friends of the Arts before you tell your story.
Okay.
Mitch, you can't win twice. You have to wait 30 days before you can win another prize. That's the old radio thing there. The farmers market is at the Beach Baptist, and that is located at 130 Connecticut Street, rather. The hours of the Gulf
I
Coast.
think it's the Beach Access 22. I think it's 22.
Beach Access 22.
Yeah.
The hours of the Gulf Coast Main Street Market, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Sundays through May. It's going on now through May. Wednesdays and Sundays at the Beach Baptist. The farmers market.
Well, that's convenient if you're at church and then you can just
Right.
pick up stuff.
If you need some stuff for Christmas,
You
great
need some
place.
coffee,
If you need some love muffins, they have
lemonade.
They have the Beach Baptist one. They also do the
Yep.
Santini Plaza,
And
they are now open at Gulf Coast. So
Yep.
they have 3 different farmers
that's
markets.
expanding. I
Yeah.
went. They had a lot of vendors there, but
Yep.
they're continuing to expand that there.
Yeah, and Linda's fabulous. She does a great job. And they have Cubana Cafe. They have daily delicacies, squeezers, love muffins, Suncoast coffee, which is what they do for the church, right? Dudley's Barbecue, Water Gems, Hooked Up Fish Market. They have tons of them. There's just too many to read at the Beach Baptist, which is every Wednesday and Friday.
King of all guacamoles. Now that sounds good.
130 Connecticut Street. And we thank them for sponsoring the show. And we hope you go down there and spend some time and say, we heard Ed and Kim talking about the farmers market. So we went on down there. So let's see,
But
Bruce.
it's not just farming stuff. It's
Bruce.
everything.
Right.
It's jewelry.
Right. It's like a farmer's market, only with more stuff than you would find on a farm. So the winner of the 2 tickets to
Was it
see,
the Supremes?
it is the Supremes.
That's who I was going to
You know, I thought that was pretty easy. I'm surprised we didn't get more people jump in there. But
you
Mitch,
got an issue
Mitch, you could tell Mitch's age. He knew both questions. He knew both
knew 'em
answers
quick.
like that, and he's probably a big Motown fan. So Lionel Richie was the answer to the first question, and the Supremes.
Now, how are people going to get their tickets?
I'm going to set them up with Kieran.
Okay.
And he's going to take care of their tickets. And just so you all know, the shows that are coming up for the Friends of the Arts include on January 13th, the Girls of Motown. February 10th is going to be Earth to Mars, and that's going to be a
Bruno Mars.
On March 10th will be Faithfully, and that is a tribute to
Oh, I get this wrong every time. Journey.
Journey. Very nice. Then on April 14th is going to be Shania Twain.
Shania Twain.
All right, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
The concerts are held at Salty Sam's, which is a great place to see a concert, especially in this great weather. 2500 Main Street, and they all begin at 7 o'clock. The gates open at 5, so if you wanted to have a drink or something to eat, you can go early.
And, you
And
can
congratulations to our winners today.
VIP where you buy 10 tickets and you get your own little spot
Right.
with your friends and can hang out. And
Today I'm going to run. I'm going to stay here because we're going to the women's club. I'm going to
Yeah.
run to Hammerhead Gym and work out and then run back
good for you.
so that we don't have to go off the island and on the island. Well, I don't have to
Right.
because I
So-
hate the traffic. So that's what I'm going to do. What
I
are you going to
was-
do?
I'm going to go home, but when you were talking about your run, I went on a run this morning
Yes, you did.
and
9 miles.
I was going down the beach and came back. And you know how it was high tide. So I was just in my head thinking about something that I frequently think about. And I was running on the beach and I ran out of sand. I ran into water because the water fills in and it creates this little
I
island.
think people know what high tide
All right.
is.
So I've never done that before. So I turn around and I'm running and I have to jump over the water. So I run, jump over. And some guy's like laughing, some young guy.
Like you're doing an
And-
obstacle race
Yeah,
or something.
and he goes, that was really great. And I said, yeah. I said, I've never done that before. I was in my head thinking about my trip to Nepal. I really want to go to Nepal. And he looked at me like he had seen a ghost. And he says, that's so odd because my girlfriend and I are planning to go backpacking in Nepal next summer. And I was like, get out. So
Did you just make that whole story up?
No, I'm serious.
Are you going to Nepal with them? Is that what the
I don't know.
moral of the story
I
is?
said I'm old and I haven't done it really any traveling abroad. So I don't know. Maybe I think this is like kismet
Wow.
or something.
Did you get his name
He
and
really-
number? And
No. He's a young guy and his girlfriend. He's going back to Michigan on Tuesday for the holidays, and then he's coming back down here, I guess, to stay. But I'll probably see him on the beach. 'Cause
Did you
he's a
hug?
runner guy.
Did you
No,
give him
no,
a
no,
hug?
no, no.
Nothing
No,
like
no.
that.
No, but he said, what are the chances that I'd meet somebody that
Wow.
would say
Now,
they're
what
thinking about
what state is
Nepal?
Nepal in? Really? Where is Nepal? Is it no? Is it in Brazil or where is it? Seriously.
It's near Bhutan.
Ah,
and
Bhutan.
China.
Where's Bhutan?
That's a really
Is that
small
a-
country. Very
That's a country.
beautiful
How many
It's near
people
Nepal,
are in the country of Bhutan?
Pakistan.
How do you spell Bhutan?
I think it's Bhutan.
Ah, that Bhutan. Now I get it. That Bhutan.
So, anyways, I have to hit up a friend of ours that knows stuff about Nepal because I want to find out about the Annapurna circuit. Because there's a tour there, and it was fairly reasonable priced. And you know me, I'm very cheap, so I'm gonna have to get a job in the summer now to pay for this. But I really want to go.
Oh, brother. All righty. So, what are your
So
plans
weird.
for today, other than the Bhutan thing? What is you're gonna go let the dogs out? And we're gonna
Yep.
all meet at the women's club tonight. We're
I'll
gonna see
probably
all the
have to get
famous people
some
on the
stuff,
beach, and you got to
'cause
lip up and make sure you do your
I gotta do
hair
my
so it
hair,
all looks nice and that chili
We have to
contest
get
starts.
some decorations.
You
for
do
your
because
table.
I'm going to be here at the beach. So
What-
on your
and
way
so
back,
What are you? So really, you're not cooking the chili.
we're
You're
doing a
not
show.
getting
By the
any
way,
decorations.
we're
You're
doing a
doing
show.
nothing.
We're doing a show from the women's club. We're doing a show there,
Well,
and so we're going to be on from 3:00 ish to 4:00
well, it's
ish.
a good thing you told me because
Yeah.
I thought I didn't have to be down
Right.
here till 3:30.
No, well, you can come whenever you want to come because you're the queen of the show, and the show doesn't really start till you
Oh,
get there.
please.
So, by the way,
Please.
before we let you go, everybody, remember, Beach Talk Radio, the 24-hour music station, is in the works. It's launching January 1st, 2022. We also have a fireworks
What dial?
celebration.
What dial
There is
setting?
no dial position. Knock it off, old lady. Nobody listens to the radio anymore. The fireworks are coming up January 31st, and we're going to be broadcasting live from Margaritas next
January
door.
31st.
Yes.
Why would we do it in January?
I was hoping I wouldn't make that mistake. December 31st, of course. If you show up for January 31st and expect fireworks, you'll be a month late.
Yep.
And the fabulous fireworks celebration that the town puts on last 4th of July was amazing. If it's anything like that, it's going to be fabulous. We'll see you
Yeah, that was
today
great.
at the women's club. You know, you don't have to be a woman to be in the women's club. They take men too.
Yep.
I've never been able to get the kibosh on who the men that are in that club are, but I'm guessing Dan might be one of them. Maybe we'll join today. Well, you're
There
already
you
a
go.
member.
I'm already a member. You
All
should
right.
join.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you at the women's club, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day, and bye-bye.